troop 5623 over in Cerritos. Thank you all for coming out today. And so one of the reasons why we did this day is because we're working on setting up a composting program here in Niemes Elementary, and it actually started this last weekend. And so we're just here to kind of teach you guys about like the benefits of composting as well as what's happening here in Niemes. So what do you guys know about composting? Does anyone know anything about it? Any volunteers? Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. So basically what it is, it's our way of speeding up nature's process of decomposition and returning things back to the soil. And so one of the reasons why this is really important is a lot of people think that when we throw away like our banana peel or orange peel, it goes to the landfill, right? But the thing is, at the landfill, it doesn't break down as easily because it's surrounded by all this plastic and other metal, like waste that doesn't break down easily, that takes like thousands of years to break down, and which is why we just dump it in our landfill. And so we're trying to kind of prevent that from happening. And so what we've done in this last week is I went in and talked to the 6th graders, Miss Martinez, Mr. Sobiglias, Mr. Villegas, Mr. Lewis, and I give them a composting workshop, and we've set up a system where we take one of these buckets. Every classroom has one of these buckets where they take, one student is in charge of at lunch, and they take it to lunch, and what they do is after they're done eating their food, they take the banana peel, they throw it in the bucket, and we put a cap on it so that it doesn't smell. And then so we do this from Monday through Friday. We collect their waste, and then on Friday I collected it, and then we measured it, and then we said how many pounds of waste like we've saved from the landfill, and in total we've saved around like 30 pounds of like waste of like food waste from the landfill this week. So that was like a good job. Yeah, good job to all the 6th graders. And then one of the things, okay, so one of the problems we sort of ran into was that a lot of students, they thought they loved this idea of composting because we're saving waste, but they also kind of saw it as a way for them to not eat their like vegetables and fruits. They're like, oh, I don't want this apple, I'm just gonna throw it in. So one of the things that we're stressing now is that it doesn't matter like we don't mind if the bucket's not filled. What we care about is that it's actually food waste, like it's actually banana peels, actually apple cores, actually stuff that we can't eat that we can compost again. And so I've told them no whole foods, and some of them thought, oh, I just take a bite and throw it in. But they've been getting better about it, and it's like I think over time they'll learn not to throw away like their actual like carrots. Like, oh, I don't eat carrots, but like we want to make sure that's not happening.
I have a question. Actually, is there a little bit of rice? So you can put also the leftover?
Yeah. So I'll talk about what you can and can't compost. So the basic rule of composting is no meat, no dairy, no plastic. So no pizza because that has cheese on it, which is dairy. No sausages, because what meat does is it kind of attracts unwanted like animals. You might get some rats, you might get some like seagulls coming in trying to eat it. And so what you want to avoid is no pasta with meatballs, no chicken, milk, no plastic in the fruit cup. Like maybe you could dump out the fruit cup, but we want you to finish it. So for now we're saying mostly apple cores, banana peels, orange peels, stuff like that we've eaten but we like can't eat the rest of. And then so that's this part. And what you can compost is carrots, corn, any vegetables, fruits and vegetables are all compostable. You can also compost paper, which is one thing, but I think you're better off just recycling that in the first place. But if you want, you can take your newspaper and like rip it to shreds and put it in the compost. And then so what composting is I'll pass out a brochure right now. If any of you want to like pass it around, if you haven't gotten one, just take one. And so what it is kind of introducing what home composting is, what we can set up at home. And so what we're doing here at Niemes, since we're a school and it's like a lot bigger, like a bigger load of trash, right? So what we're setting up is this type of like three bin system. If you can see in your brochure too. It's a 3-bin system that the Boy Scouts are doing right now, which is 1, 2, 3, 3 sections for 3 different phases of composting. So in the first month, what we have is kind of a layered compost that my dad will show you later, I think. And then so what we're doing is over time, it'll end up looking like this, which is like just dirt. And a lot of people think that compost smells, but the thing is there's like a way to do it that if you do it right, it should not smell at all. It should smell like dirt. It should smell like earth. And so one of the things you have to note is composting, it's a layer. So what you have is you have your green material, which is your organic material, like fruits and vegetables, and you take your organic material and you layer it with dirt, leaves, branches. That's your brown material, which is like the dry part that keeps it from smelling. So you layer it, you give it a 1:3 ratio of like 1 part organic, 3 part brown. So that way you keep it and it doesn't smell. And over time, that's the beginning. And then over time, you want to make sure to turn it every week so that it doesn't stay stagnant. But what you have is like a turner, where you go in and then you kind of turn your compost like that, so that you make sure every part of it gets some air and like lets it breathe. And over time, you want to make sure the compost is turned like every week or so that way the air gets to it and then it helps the decomposition process occur faster. And what you'll notice is that in compost, like you guys all saw a bunch of worms and like random bugs around, but in compost you'll see a lot of those because worms are a sign of healthy compost. Like if you see maggots, that means you probably have meat in there and it's not healthy, you should take it out. But worms and other bugs like pill bugs, roly-polies, that kind of thing, those indicate a healthy compost pile, which means it's turning into soil over time. So if you guys want to take a look at this later, you'll see like a bunch of worms in here. And then yeah, my dad's gonna do a presentation of like how you can do composting with different types of buckets. So if you'll notice back here, this is the bin that we're doing. Other people have just like regular trash can bins. And what you can also do is you can take wire mesh, like chicken wire, and make a circle with it, like over there, and start layering it up that way. And that's like a cost simple way of doing it, because people don't want to buy like actual like compost bins because those cost more money. You can do them like these cost more money. Like they might make it a little simpler, but it does cost more money. And then like if you just buy your chicken wire, it'll save a lot of like costs. And so we're gonna show an example of composting, and we're using Miss Martinez's 6th grade's waste. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm gonna turn this around.
Okay, so I can start to do right now. I'm not doing the surgery, okay? Anyway, just simply because we did this one at the home, I think almost 3 years, turned out pretty good. So I just want to share everybody how to do it at home simply. Anyway, we always have a food waste, no matter you maybe food
like you chop
here or you chop the vegetable, some other things, even the paper napkins, but not tissue paper, because tissue paper now make 100% from wood. So remember, even paper napkin, not bother, or even the newspaper, or like a stretch paper. But better you can just maybe do a small piece if you don't have enough brown. So simply we can just say green and brown. Green is 1, brown is 3. What that mean? First of all, when we did at home, right? We did a little bit of research, or may check with other people. But the idea is from her Seattle group project from Girl Scout. They have a project called
we had a Harvest the Wood project, and what we did was we invited people from the neighborhood to come out, and then we did like a composting demonstration for them too. And yeah, I think after that my dad really liked it, so we started doing it at home. And yeah.
Yeah, because when we started doing it, we just not quite sure how to do it, so we just dig a hole from the backyard ground. But sometimes look not really good, and we don't know how it's gonna happen. Maybe 1 month, 2 months. So, and anyway, after we heard from her Silver Group project, we started doing it. So I went to Home Depot, buy we call this one chicken net, like a plastic one, and I use whatever the cable wire. You don't need it. Just make sure you can tie the both sides of the bottom, and then this is one for the pile. You can just imagine like this one. It's open spot, and they have a hole. the air can come through because you want earthworm, right? So you need air and water moisture, and also provide food, like food waste. So when we start to do it, we need to collect the ground, but unfortunately, I don't have maybe 1 or 2 acres backyard, so I don't have enough ground. So sometimes I have to went to the park. Fall season right now is good, so you just go to take a look. Oh, they have some like fall leaf there, and you collect it. But sometimes it's not turning brown, so I just use this one little bit corner in the home. This is from my house, small area. So this is a gardener. They have some yard waste. I just pour them, give it to me, or maybe I just dump from my green bin. So just put here, and maybe a couple of days they will become dry. Or sometimes you have to turn it dry fast.
Oh, yeah,
so,
eggshells are also like really good for compost. Yeah, eggshells definitely.
And so this one, of course, we need to put on the ground. So you need to use the ground for the one layer. So put on the bottom. Let me do some demonstration here. Because the way they can cut to the soil, they need heat, which means the moisture. So we need to cover by ground because the green always wet. So this is the first layer to put on the ground. And second layer, this is one parent from early in the morning. Let me check it out, see what she has. Okay.
Oh yeah, someone brought that in.
Yeah, someone brought it.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Remember the label for this one? This one, better don't do it because this one kind of plastic kind. Yeah.
Try to remove it from
Yeah,
the
don't do this
banana.
one.
Yeah.
And this is good. But here you can buy more. Yeah. Now this one,
No, there's
not really. Yeah. Because this one will tend to smelling something like that.
yeah,
so
yeah. The
not really.
dairy is not good.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
just put it on the side.
Yeah, but sometimes I just put in the whatever the sea or can, so I think it should be okay. Because you don't want like a raccoon or maybe possum or rat to even fly. Good, thank you. Anyway, how about the coal from the corn? No, not really, because that's kind of you need to just two small pieces, otherwise not easy to put to a soil. So we need to dump this one to the bin. Then another layer is brown. So remember 1, 2, 3, because of one green, you just maybe measure like for example, it's a 1 bucket, maybe another 3 buckets brown. Then you will see it's pretty interesting when you after you dump the thing inside, couple of days when you touch your clothes, you will feel the temperature, heat start to build up. So and you will see this one is pretty foggy right now, right? But a couple of days they will become thinner. Yeah.
Lower.
Yeah, because they start to have some moisture, start to cook whatever the green inside. And if you put just on the ground, right? I think earthworm will start to come. But if you put, where's my picture?
Oh, I passed it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, this is one. We always this kind of bucket, whatever you can just grab from your cookie the container, and you can dump it to here. Put this one under the sink. This one we can buy from the Home Depot layers, Lowe's, or even the Amazon. That kind of choice. They have a cover and this one, so you won't smell anything. And wait for like a full bucket, you can just dump to here. And but this kind of open chicken leg have problem during the summer. Actually, a lot of fly, a bug. So of course we did a little bit research, and I don't want to spend too much money for buy this one. This one costs I think more than 150 something like that. But you need this one because this one you can rotate it by yourself. So about like 3 days or 1 week, you just rotate it and open it, take a look, see if too dry or too wet. If not enough wet, right, you need maybe put a little bit water inside. That's what they say, but I never did because my sprinkler always maybe help me take some water, so I don't need to put some water inside. But I just need to worry about too wet, so I always need to fill some brown inside. But anyway, you can go to whatever Home Depot, about $10 each, drill a hole from the bottom and the side, let the air come in. And the good thing you can see the result because they will have a we call tea or soup from the whatever soil. That's very rich, so it's easy to help out your whatever you are planting to grow up, or even your grass growing up really good. So this is first one I dumped from the kitchen container. About 1 month, almost full, right? I dump it to here. Here I can start to do the rotated, and then after another month, I dump it to another can. So this is from my backyard. This is the one from the cook bin. And if you want turn fast, you can put a little bit they call starter. Starter is maybe a little bit earthworm, or maybe like your backyard have any like soil. You put inside, they will turn fast because they have a grow more worms, earthworms, something like that. So this is the second bin, which means I call cook bin. And about 1 month will become this one. Then I need to dump to another bin. Of course, in between, you need to use the tool to turn it out, whatever, and it will become.
Use a shovel to turn it too.
Yeah.
That works too.
The soil. So it's pretty rich. I don't need to spend money to buy more soil. So turn out pretty good. Our backyard, fruit tree or vegetable. Yeah. So you don't need to go to farmers market, or you enjoy a lot. So basically, we just do this one. If anybody have a question or you have a experience you want to share to everyone, please.
How long is the process?
I would say
it's like I think it's like about 3 months, 3-month process to finish. If you turn it weekly and you take care of your pile, it should take about 3 months. Like in the beginning, it'll look like just the layers like that, but over time, it'll start looking like this a little bit. Like you still see a bunch of some twigs, you can still see some eggshells in there, but over time, it'll turn out looking like this, like that.
yeah, you can take a look. They have some still have some eggshell you can see. And sometimes I just too lazy. They have some fruit seed, right? I just throw inside. Sometimes it grow up, so I don't know what kind of plant, but the egg grow. Oh, that's good. That's sweet, like a pepper or something like that. So it's a surprise for me. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. So we like to do it, so to share to everybody. So yeah.
If you guys want to take a look at the worms up here, you can come take a look.
I think only kids are interested
Yeah,
to see those. Yeah.
Let's go, big man. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. Get up. Worms.
We have to put in water, right?
Not really, because if too dry, right? You need to help cook quick, so you need maybe put a little water, moisture. Yeah. But normally, our food waste is very wet, like vegetable peel. So normally you don't need it. But make sure enough. The problem is the flour. Normally we don't have enough flour. So I also buy like 1 pack of trash plastic bag to my neighbor's
Wait,
garden.
are they done or like?
Say, if you have a Yahweh's, just give it to me. You don't need to dump it out. Oh, this one can do. Yeah, this one can do. Yeah, can do. Oh yeah, you can just bring your bag. Yeah.
So you don't have to chop. You don't have to cut.
Unless like a small right, or whatever.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you.
Right? But
Those are recycling. Yeah. When we on our way, we'll throw it in. Yeah, my friends actually came over yesterday to help me work on some of this. Yeah, we were looking at like slogans online. Yeah, they have our okay, just go this way. Yeah, I wish you kept regarding everything.